Live from Music City, Nashville, Tennessee, this is your motivational, sensational, inspirational, educational, aspirational, international, keenly awaited, daily created, highly anticipated edition of the afternoon swing trading floor with your humble host, Jeremy Alexander Newsom, with another daily dose of mentally delicious brain food, reminding each of you to love life, live life, and trade it. Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on out there, my friends and fam from around the world? Hope you're doing incredible. Albert says good afternoon. Good afternoon, Albert. Welcome, welcome. Great. So it is Thursday, right? Today's Thursday? Okay. So we got Thursday, Transportation Thursday. Bill, Dr. Falco, Jill, John, Scott, Thomas, Tom, and Zochi. All right, such amazing people to be here today. I love it. We're going to cover the broad markets really quickly because there's not much to see. It was actually an inside range today, which is surprising because usually I lose on inside range days. And all I can say is I'm ready for a nice move either direction. This could happen or this could happen. And it probably will happen either tomorrow or definitely by sometime next week. By the end of next week, we'll get a decisive move in one direction or another. Just play whatever that direction is. If it's bullish, we're not too overextended to go higher. And if it's bearish, awesome. We need to pull back anyway. So that's really it. Dow Jones, kind of the exact same thing. The Qs, the exact same thing. The IWM, just sideways as can be. And then since today is Thursday, allegedly, here's your IYT, which is your transportation ETF. And we're just trading sideways and hanging out. So that is it on the broader markets, friends. There's not a whole heap ton to really chat about. The good news is we got all kinds of stuff to talk about today. So let's dive in. First on the list today is Pinterest. And Pinterest snagged some puts today for January, $20 puts. So yesterday we closed right at the trigger of 1937. So this morning, pretty much about 8 minutes after open, I bought some $20 January puts. That was about it on Pinterest. So the $20 puts, and my plan obviously to figure out where and what we do with those. We have January, so I could probably hold those for a bit. And just see what happens. Obviously, having to spend money on the insurance, my thought is we probably do something like this, but because if we close below this candle, I mean, things could get kind of selly on Pinterest. And again, most likely going to have to just hedge with options and hold for a while on this particular stock. So Pinterest, all I'll say is if Pinterest closes below, what day is this? November 11/4/19 candle before 12/1. Hold on to your shorts. No, I should say a different one. Hold on to your hats. There you go. I would expect it to drop kind of nicely if it starts breaking below that price. So what I'm going to do is just leave my puts alone. See if we close below that price. What I would really like for it to do, realistically, is come down here, whipsaw us, and bounce hard. That's what I want it to do. I don't want to make money on these puts. I want to make money on the shares. Hold on to your puts. That makes sense. Let's just write that in there. So I don't want those puts to work out. I want the stock to go up because that would make us make more money than puts. However, I'm just assuming that I'm going to end up hedging with options on this one, which means selling some calls and then buying some puts. So if, let's say, Pinterest goes down to 17, I will sell the puts and maybe buy what? Another 30? No, not 30. Probably 13 shares of Pinterest. And then depending on what it does mid-December, early January, maybe buy some more puts and probably not sell any calls at that point. Just waiting to see if it bounces and just kind of play it with puts as we kind of chop around and do our thing. So I'll keep you all updated on Pinterest, what we end up doing, but it does look a little bit weak and some selling has begun. So what I'll do is I'll write that down in here. Again, I do think longer term, this one has a strong chance of growing. We're just going to have to hold through some chop. How long? I don't know. Is this going to turn into an HK? My God, I hope not. Yeah, I hope not. Okay. So in on some puts. In on some puts. And there we go. Okay. Pinterest, done and done. Next on the list is INFY. And INFY, we wanted it to close above 10 by Friday. So what I'm going to just let you all know is by the end of the day tomorrow, if INFY has not closed above 10, then we're going to exit this particular trade for about an R of profit. Now, if you want to hold for longer, you're more than welcome to. You could definitely increase the stop here. But we've been in this trade for most of the month, realistically, pretty much all month, all the month of November. And, you know, usually stocks I'm in at the beginning of the month, if I go all the way through the month, I'm closing by the end of the month. This is just going to be one of those. Could have closed a few days ago for even more money, but, you know, I guess that's okay. So I like the compression. We will see. Again, if you still want to hold this trade, you could just increase the stop to here and more or less, you know, eyes closed for hopefully a pop higher and eventual filling of this gap, which I do think could happen on INFY, but we will see in time. Okay, next on the list is Disney, and Disney did jack squat today. Inside day candle, very small, chilling. So I like that. There's not much to see on Disney. Long story, you guys all get it. If you have a long enough time horizon on Disney, you should win. So we're just going to kind of hang out. I mean, really, really good volume came in there. You made a new high the very next day. So that was a great place to lock in some profit if you needed to. But really, candles like this, especially on a blue chip, normally get retraced, right? We'll like slowly start dipping. So if we don't do that, beautiful. But Disney, if you're in bullish, just stay in bullish. Candle looks nice. Trade looks nice. All looks good right now. NVIDIA. So NVDA, there's many people in bullish on NVIDIA, just kind of longer term. Few people have shares. Few people have options. Few people just have some money and they're just, you know, you got a small position and things are just hanging out. So all I'm thinking at this particular point in time is if you're in bullish on NVIDIA, I guess just stay in it. We don't have an official swing trade on NVDA. I'm already in. I'm just kind of waiting it out to see what it does. The weekly chart looks good. And kind of like I said last week, I think we're just going to hang out here for 2 or 3 weeks, kind of trade sideways, let the moving averages catch up, and then we eventually go higher. Overall, be patient on NVIDIA. Give it some time. Nothing too crazy and wild to see here. And that's what I got on NVDA. Just gonna wait it out and see what she does. Okay, Facebook, ticker symbol FB. So OJ Rodriguez was looking at Facebook. He was looking at buying some shares and selling some covered calls on Facebook, which does indeed make a lot of sense to me, at least. I like Facebook. Again, zero China exposure. And I really like this weekly chart. Earnings were what a lot of people refer to as phenomenal. You had an inside week after earnings, another inside candle, and then we've made a higher high and a higher low. Moving averages are bullish on the weekly. They're bullish on the monthly. They're bullish on the daily. We're above all averages on all time frames, so the trend would have to be bullish. December 215 covered call makes sense. Literally, there's just a few cents up there, but getting called away at 215 would be good. I think that one actually probably expires worthless, and you could most likely do a 216 or 220 for January of 2020, or maybe even February. Falco says, those new Oculus Stealth for Christmas presents, $500 a pop. 500 buckaroonies, people. Good old Oculus. Did you try them on, or was it just your friend's kid, the little man? I still have not yet to wear one, so I'm not sure. But again, we will see how it all plays out. I also kind of see like an inverted head and shoulders pattern on Facebook, something like this. A good close with a neckline, a retest. I like it. Facebook looks bullish to me. Again, kind of longer term. I don't have anything short term on Facebook, but some shares and some covered calls. We'll see what we got on. Bob says they're not on sale anywhere. Just another revenue source for Facebook. Can't disagree with that. All right. Speaking of revenue sources, Apple has made about $20 million since we've been talking today. And you have an inside candle right now on Apple. Volume is increasing. And of course, everyone and their mom would like to pull back on Apple. There's not enough premium for any put sales at this point in time. And we just got an all-time high yesterday. Well, the day before yesterday. But you do have 3 bearish candles in a row. It's good to know. So 3 bearish candles in a row, a little bit of a flag pattern right here. I could see us breaking up. I would actually love a nice solid drop tomorrow in the market. I don't know if that happens or not, probably not, but I'd be a fan. And if we do that, I'd most likely sell some puts on Apple and also have some share purchases 250 and lower. Eventually, I think 230 would be a spot that Apple could come back and revisit. And that'd be a really great spot to buy some dips on Apple. Otherwise, just going to wait it out and see what we do. Amazon. Amazon's interesting, team. I think Mr. Squiggles is right on with this one. Mr. Squiggles drew this Friday of last week. And so far, he's not totally incorrect. Here's the weekly chart on Amazon. 1702 is the weekly 100. I still think Amazon could drop about 100 points to trap a lot of people before she bounces. This is really just the first distribution phase that Amazon's had since like 2014, and it needs it. Nothing can go up forever. Here's the monthly chart. You don't really have all that much happening. We do have a lower high. I mean, that's something to consider. So you have some lower highs on Amazon. So you got that. Daily chart, right? We hit our head against the long-term moving averages, trading sideways, doing its thing. Still got this bull put spread. It is January. I would like to buy it back. I don't think Amazon drops 200 points between now and January. That'd be about 9%. If that happens, I would assume the broader markets would have a little bit more of a pullback too. But I think that's what I got. Anyway, retest, Amazon, probably going to go lower. Okay. Netflix is popping. We got a little pop on Netflix. So tomorrow, I hope that we hit our target on Netflix. 315.59 is the target. If we do, then I get my R back that we lost from the bear swing, and I'd be happy about that. If we don't, I'm going to increase it. That's right. If we don't hit the target tomorrow, I will increase the target. This looks like a good move. Volume really came in. You close above this candle right here today. Here's the weekly chart. And the weekly chart, you closed above this candle today. So if tomorrow is Friday, which means it'd be a brand new week. Now, granted, at that point, you'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 white candles in a row in the weekly chart, but Netflix can do more than that. So if it closes above this wick, I really think people are going to be trapped on Netflix. And depending on what it does tomorrow, I will say if Netflix is gapping up above the high of today, tomorrow, I might increase that target a little bit. just to make it a little bit higher, maybe like 20, 30, 40 cents. But if we do not hit the target tomorrow, then I will strive to make the target about 320, maybe a little bit higher, pretty close to the 100 simple on the weekly chart is where I would make that target on Netflix. Also, Bob, well done, my man. I really, really appreciate this gorgeous kind of like step-by-step walkthrough of your trading psychology. I think that's very helpful. I know that's gonna help Niels. He was in some put sales on Netflix as well. Followed your plan. You stayed patient. And realistically, again, had you got put to shares at Netflix, you probably wouldn't have been upset about it. And then you would have gotten put to shares, and you would have owned some shares, and you'd be up on those shares, and you probably start selling some calls on it. And, you know, yeah. So congrats, man, for being profitable on the put sales. That's lovely. Really, really great news. And make sure you reward yourself for following that plan. That's my thoughts on Netflix. Let's see if we can get that target, but I do love the fact that we closed above that candle. I think we might even be able to sell like a very small position there and an even smaller 330. I don't know. We'll see. Netflix, not looking bad. All right, Tesla. So Tesla, ladies and gentlemen, is going to have their truck release information tonight. Elon Musk posting that the new Tesla truck will be the official truck of Mars. And I would love a gap higher tomorrow. I guess that's really it. I mean, the moving averages are still bullish. I don't think there's no way Tesla gaps up above 362 tomorrow. That'd be too easy. If Tesla gaps above 362 tomorrow, we're going to hit 400 before the end of the year. So again, I'm not saying that's going to happen. That probably won't. Most likely we get a giant sell-off like this, fill some gaps, and then bounce. Because again, Tesla's very buy the rumor, sell the news kind of a stock. So we'll have to see. We'll see what Musk says. I think it's at 10 o'clock tonight. I believe that's Eastern. So it'll be a little bit on the later side, but I do think Ashley and I have a date to watch it. So if you guys want to post it on Slack or whatever, I'm sure we'll be talking mad stuff about Tesla. Anyway, really quick, this was the day trade that we traded today on Tesla. So congrats, Scott McKay. Well done, Tom. A few other people nabbed some solid R's on Tesla. I do want to give Tom some love. If you were here, man, you know I would hug you for this. Tom posted his setup before market even opened. Here was his trade. Here was his plan. 1R and 2R before market even opened. He said, hey, this is what I'm going to do. I'm getting in. And he did. So here's Tesla. This is the 5-minute chart. I'll turn the extended hours on so you can kind of see what Tom was looking at. So when he posted that trade, you know, pretty much getting into this at this red line. Once this first candle came in, it was a very, very nice candle. Just a perfect S curve, perfect bounce. I mean, could not have been a better trade. So Tom got in and got out in the first 30 minutes. I waited and then got in here with a stop down there. And I did get very lucky on Tesla today with an exit at 360.56, which was about 30 cents from the exact high of the day. So lost an R on car part, CPRT, got it back and then some on Tesla. Just your classic retest S curve. I mean, here's your pre-market high. Look at that genius move. So boom, boom, boom. Just so nice. Really good setup. So you can study Tom's setup in Slack here if you would like to. And then you can study my setup if you want right here. 9:23, so about an hour after market open. That's what it looked like when I set it up. Looks even better. I mean, that just looks so pretty. So pretty. Bob has 210 puts for June. Those are short puts, right? Falco says, you romantic animal. A date to watch Elon's unveil. Yeah, man, she's a lucky girl. Staying up late to watch the Tesla unveiling. Man, what a gem. Bob says there are sold puts. 210 June 2020. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Well, we're about to get some volatility tonight and tomorrow. So we will see what happens. And again, kind of expecting at some point a little bit of a pop, much bigger retest, and then a continuation higher on Tesla. All right, team. Good win on Tesla. Destroyed it. Feeling good about it. Let's go look at ROKU. And ROKU today closed at 155.91. There are a few traders in on this pullback on ROKU at 156.35. That's kind of what I was talking about yesterday. Let me just do a really quick scroll to see if anyone won 155.91. 155. Charles got pretty close. Robert, not even close. Falco, just big old swing and a miss. Brad got pretty close. Steven got pretty close. Reed got really close. Oh, Jim Philman got super close. So close. Oh, man. I think Philman's going to get one freaking trader point for being the closest. John Alonso got close. Pablo got close. And then let's see what these beautiful people got. Yep, I think Jim Philman, you get one freaking trader point for being the closest, my friend. One freaking trader point for Philman. Can't do last name, huh? For getting the closest on ROKU. Not bad. That's pretty much it. Obviously, the trend is bullish, and if it gaps up tomorrow, it'll continue bullish. And then if it gaps down, I think you could get a little bit more selling and kind of consolidation. So if you turn the extended hours off, again, the trend looks nice. But if you do gap down tomorrow, you could get some selling on ROKU. You could play it kind of neutral. So we will see. All right. We're really rolling today. Doing good. AMD. Shout outs to Joel for buying AMD off of the 10. Almost exactly buying it off the 10 EMA today. So here's the 5-minute chart, and Joel bought it. His entry was here. Right off the 10 EMA. I don't know where his stop was. I'm assuming down there somewhere. It's been a very strong bullish trend. He got in because this has been a bullish trend. He bought at the 10. He set his stop and just dominated this one. Those were really, really good trade by Joel. And trade up to, I mentioned the target he was asking was 39.40. So it did hit 39.40 on AMD. Just bouncing off the 10 EMA. Really beautiful trend. A little bit of a pullback. And that was pretty much it. So you had a high wave inside day candle yesterday, a nice gap down this morning. This was a beautiful, beautiful gap. It also, for my girl Xochi, traded down to the 30-minute 105 EMA just later in the day. So remember, team, if you do day trade, you don't have to take a day trade super early in the day. You can if you want, but you don't have to. There are trades later in the day. So that was the trade down to that price. And then here's the 5-minute 105 EMA gap below there, and just some good old-fashioned support breakdowns around 40.17. So nice little move on AMD, some good stuff. And that's pretty much what I got. Other than, as far as swing trade, no swing trade on AMD for right now. Boeing, ticker symbol BA. So Boeing's been kind of choppy the last 2 or 3 days. And just waiting on this one to see what it's going to do. Don't have anything on it yet, but I think after today we can keep a much closer eye on it. And pretty much say maybe we take a breakout on Boeing, or we kind of just wait for a little bit more of a pullback. Boeing trading sideways. You had 4 white candles in a row on Boeing. 4. And now you just have a little bit of a bearish candle. So almost a tweezer top, off by about 20 cents. No trade on Boeing right now. I would like to get in bullish if it broke out, but just looking at the hourly chart, it kind of seems to me like it wants to pull back to about 357. So if you want to throw in an order just to see if you get filled, 357-ish would probably be where I would, to see if it can bounce down there. Otherwise, I'll just keep waiting on Boeing for now. Next on the list is Boeing squared. And this is a trade that we talked a little bit about yesterday. I do like BABA higher. We talked at some point yesterday about Falco selling a put on BABA for January for $1.60 at 160. And really nice looking candle coming in today on BABA. So this is another one that if you're looking for a stock to just own and just kind of do covered calls and be a little bit boring with it, BABA is probably that one. The pressure is building. I really do like this retest. And at some point, BABA is going to start crushing. I mean, such a behemoth of a company. Look at this. This consolidation is gorgeous. So yes, the consolidation's taken a while. And yes, if you have shares, you could have done really well just selling covered calls and being patient, just waiting it out, not doing anything. But here's the daily chart, and I'd like BABA to gap up today. I think it looks nice and bullish off the 20 EMA, off of this little trend line, right? That's the thing. The weekly chart, you can see this purple trend line. We broke out of it. We closed above it. Now we're retesting it. And you're getting inside day, inside day, inside day on a weekly chart. So compression is building on BABA. And if we break out of this, BABA's going to start moving. Ladies and gentlemen, BABA can move. It can put in some work. Still has a gap up here at 198 that it needs to fill. So just something to consider on BABA. All right, Ford and then Agilent Technology. Ford is doing what Ford does, which is nothing. Trading very sideways. You had a decent gap back here on November 1st. Then you had earnings. No, I'm sorry. Earnings were back here and they gapped down. We filled the gap. And yeah, it really is quite sideways. Long-term moving averages, we're below them on the daily. We're below them on the weekly. We're below them on the monthly. In fact, we're kind of in the middle. So buy low, sell high on Ford if you want to. That's what the dividends chart turned on. If you turn the dividend chart off, obviously you get a whole different picture on Ford, and it looks even more bearish. So yeah. No trade on Ford for me right now or forever. It's been a very long time since I traded Ford. I would think it would trade down to 825, but if you want to buy it, you can buy it down there. All right, ticker symbol A. Good old Agilent Technologies. This is a healthcare medical equipment company that you could probably have a pretty good time doing a straddle on. I think Agilent likes to gap decently far on earnings. Let's go check out a straddle on Agilent. December. Yeah, they're not that expensive. A December 80. Oh wow. Implied volatility is 27%. Does it really have earnings coming up? Wow. That's cheap, team. That is really low priced. $75 put. If you're playing a put and an $80 call. That's going to happen. All right. $80 December call, and it's December too. $1.75 limit. And then $75 $75 December put, $1.20 limit. Not very expensive, and I'd prefer the gap up. Agilent pre-earnings straddle. Strangle. Implied volatility seems quite low on this one, which is odd since it seems earnings is right around the corner and Agilent can gap nicely on earnings. I would love a gap up. I think that would trap the most people. But again, it wouldn't take a lot for this one to make money because because you have December, expiration. Okay. So again, if you play options, if you don't want to play options, that's absolutely fine. No stress, no worries. But if you want, you can also virtually trade this one. But like if it gapped up to 83, this thing could fly. That would definitely pay for this straddle. Okay, cool. Next on the list is Kroger. And Kroger, this is what my boy Mike Ramsey was looking at going bullish on right there. 26.97 by 26.35. And I do like your Rams. It does look good. Kind of a little bit of a gap up, like bearish wicked pair candle. Which if we broke above those two candles, I would assume that there would be some bulls coming in. The biggest question is just how much would you make on it before earnings? You got about a week and a half before earnings. You might be able to make a quarter of an R, maybe half of an R. But I do like the pattern. It looks good. And let me just kind of verify. Hop over here since we're here anyway. Kroger, December 5th. Yeah, so we're not that far away. You could get in and out. A lot of people I'm sure are going to go to Kroger for the holidays and drop some coinages. Here's the weekly chart. Oh, wow. Right at the 100. That looks pretty. Not bad. Not bad. Okay. Cool, yo. Next on the list is GLUU Mobile. And GLUU Mobile trading sideways. Not much to see on this one. We had a setup on it back over here. Didn't get in. And I would say if you're playing GLUU Mobile, if we broke down this candle that came in yesterday, that would be bearish to me. I would not be mega bullish if that is actually what occurred on GLUU. GLUU Mobile, looking a little on the weak side. A little trendy, a little bear trendy. And as far as a swing trade, I'll probably wait it out. I'll put on the list for Monday. If it still looks good Monday, I might set that up. Okay, trading floor, Monday, GLUU. All right, great. Next on the list is AT&T and then Match StatCab. So AT&T, you know, did the AT&T thing. Gap down, strong gap down, trapped some people, had another nice gap yesterday, trading close to the 100 and working on bouncing. Someone once told me earlier that AT&T had bounced off the 100 simple before, and I didn't believe them until I looked at the chart, and I was like, oh, wait, you're right. So it could do it again. It is AT&T. They're not going to go away for a while. Pays a pretty good dividend. Paid a much better yield when it was at 30, but it went all the way up to 39. I mean, that's a huge. I actually went from 28 to 39. That's a massive deal. It's really good for AT&T. So the chart trend does look good. I hope a few people got a chance to buy off of that long-term trend line, and you're just riding it out. If you adjust the chart for dividends, this thing is looking brilliant because the dividends are so dang amazing on AT&T. Again, just to pull back to a long-term moving average, which we did talk about. I did not play it, no big deal, but could have made a lot of good money off of AT&T. And my buddy Adam, who I'm going to go see for dinner tonight, did load up on AT&T at those prices. So he's paying for dinner. Match, MTCH, match group. So match, wow. Just all over the place, Nancy. I think it's finally pulling back, which is good. It really needs to pull back more. I'd love to see mass come into the 50s. I'm personally going to wait for that, which is a pullback to the 50s before I do anything with it. But there is some kind of trend right here. Whatever you want to take away with that. Therefore, if match broke above 72.66 and you wanted to play it bullish, that is where you would. Break up above that price. Match group. That's it. VECO. Velcro instruments. Not really. VECO. Like this candle that came in yesterday. So whoever requested this, you're probably already in bearish. Broke below that candle. You closed below the neckline. A little bit of a high wave. Looks good. Nothing too wild and crazy. But we just kind of kept selling off some. So if you're in bearish on VECO instruments, I'd probably say just stay that way. You have 4 bearish candles in a row, so you'd probably have to expect this and this. But I think it eventually could come down to 12. And if you were looking for a long, then that's probably what you would do, is wait for it to come down to 12, and then and around that price, buy the dip. Okay. STAA, Star Surgical Company. Look at this gap on earnings. That is beautiful. Wow. Very pretty flag pattern. Great pullback to the 10. I love charts. Look at this little double bottom on Star Surgical. Okay. Okay, I see what you're working with. That is very nice, team. We got to start watching this one a little bit more. I'm probably late to the party. In fact, they're passing out like those really small cans of Pringles because all the large cans ran out. That's where we're at in the party. Small Pringle can stage. Like, what? I paid to be a part of this party and I'm getting small Pringle cans? I want the whole can. I want that large can that I still can't fit my hand inside, but I want the big one. I love this gap. We, again, are a little late to the party. I will put it on the list for Monday. We'll just kind of keep eyes peeled on it. Buy the dip. It looks nice, but it's a little high for where I want to get in presently. Okay, FedEx. There are some people in on FedEx bearish. We've been looking at this one over the last 2 or 3 days, and doesn't mean it's going to work, but you have an inside candle today. So if FedEx gaps down, breaks lower, starts taking out some support, get on it. We're going to start breaking down some more. The trend is bearish, and you did fail the 200 simple moving average twice. So if I pull that back up, let's look at failure number 1, aka Jeremy in managerial accounting. And then here's Jeremy in managerial accounting the second time. Failed it there, and inside candle looking for a breakdown. Target 147.70. So I'm thinking the monthly chart, I mean, again, the 120 put sale for January, bring it on. It's kind of the way I see that. I'm all about it. I'm in it to win it. Wouldn't stress me out or scare me in the slightest. And still don't think it's going to happen, but do have a lot of time between now and then. You do have earnings, so I'll wait out FedEx. And if you're in bearish on FedEx, cool, let's see what happens. And if you're not, if it gaps down tomorrow, that could be nice. A lot of traders in bullish on Johnson & Johnson. This is what Mr. Squiggles set up literally on the 15th of November. Said, hey, look to buy the dip. We drew the line at 132.96, and that was almost the exact low the very next day, which was a Monday, this Monday. Retested nicely. A few people are in, and some traders have a 140 December covered call. This is the one that I mentioned that you could really own as many shares of Johnson & Johnson as you could humanly afford. Sell calls against it, and you will eventually make money. Yeah. Long terms look good on all charts, adjusted or non-adjusted for dividends. Good double bottom, nice bounce, beautiful trap down here. I mean, this trap is just ridiculous. Really good lower shadow, perfect trap, great close above, inside a week, bouncing, looks nice. Thumbs up, J&J, cruising for a bruising. So whatever pullback it gets, awesome. Whatever gap it gets, a breakout it gets, great. I think we're just going to slowly continue higher. So be bullish on Johnson & Johnson, seems good to me. KRUS. We're going to wait one more day on KRUS. This is the one that we absolutely nailed. Entry here, stop there, got out there. That was a good trade. So now you have a Morningstar reversal. It's a good Morningstar reversal too. I just want one more day. I want one more day to go by. Because we're at the 10. I'd like just a little bit of consolidation before we play it. Like a bearish candle, some selling, some rest. Again, the volume on this one is not outrageous, but I do know that Blake Anderson has a position. I don't have any more position on KRUS. Might get in on something, but I would have had a much, much larger position back over here if it had more, if it had options or something. Okay, so KRUS, we're gonna, I think it's already on the list for tomorrow. Nope. Yep, yes it is. Okay. Cool deal. Southwest Airlines. We'd love to have you. So Southwest, we have a bearish position on this one. We got triggered into it yesterday. It also triggered today if you didn't get in yesterday. We have an inside day candle, and we're just waiting for it to kind of drop. Right now, the target is 370 on the puts. I don't know if we're going to hit that. I doubt we do. But we got time, you know, December. We got a little bit of time for either Southwest or the market to pull back in general. Very nice retest gap right here that I do think could fill. So if the market just absolutely hemorrhages and poops its pants, then we do have a little bit of a hedge as we have a bearish position out there on Southwest Airlines. And again, I'm not bearish on Southwest. In fact, I'm quite bullish on it long term. I just think that this pullback would, you know, pull back some. Bob says JetBlue looks pretty similar to Southwest. It does. Although JetBlue made a nice lower low today and Southwest didn't. You are correct. There are some astonishing similarities. And I also think that JetBlue could pull back a little bit more. So I guess we're going to kind of see. Maybe a little bit of a retest, a little bit of a pause, but I think Southwest can drop a little bit more. My buddy Thomas was looking for a bull put spread on Home Depot yesterday. And again, I still think you could wait a smidge. Great bearish gap and go. Another great gap yesterday, a follow through today. So Home Depot most likely can and will bounce, but that gap was solid. If you're looking for a bull put spread on Home Depot, I agree. I think that the trend is unarguably bullish. We're probably gonna have to do like a January 200 or something. December 200, 195 pays about 20 cents. Might be able to do a little bit higher. 205, 200. Wow, that's not bad. You could get 50 cents for a 205, 200. If you did that, you'd probably do a bear call spread too. 240. Oh, wow. No money in a 240. All right, let me look at January. January 200, 195, you could get 50 cents. And a 240, 245 is almost not even worth doing. So you're either doing a 200, 195 for January or a 205, 200 for December. And you probably could get some good premium because I think that Home Depot could continue a little bit lower. Let's go look at the last really strong bearish gap and go that it had, which is back over here on October 17th, 2018. And we did go a little bit lower before we bounced. So I'm gonna give Home Depot a little bit of time to get to a spread on it. If you want to, knock yourself out. I might do it at some point tomorrow. If we really start getting some good selling tomorrow, I'll consider it. But it definitely would be below the 200 symbol. Okay, Mongo database, MDB, not much. Finally, a little bit of selling candle after all of these bull candles in a row. Man, we should have flipped our short on Mongo. So at this point, if you're looking at going long, I'd love a pullback to 131. I think that'd be really clutch. Although we might not. Bob bought to close the June put sale. Congratulations, my friend. Well done. That was a nice profit for you. And I do like this double bottom right here. So nice double bottom, good candle, looking good, feeling good, trading good on Mongo. So for me, buy a dip. Otherwise, wait it out. Okay, Adobe, not much to see on Adobe. We got out of this one already on our swing trade. You had a good consolidation, a nice rest, really good gap. We played it pretty much as perfect as we could. The Iron Condor is over, and earnings are in December. You have 5 white weekly candles in a row, and I guess I could look into another Iron Condor on Adobe, although I don't think I could do a bear call spread by itself because that would mean that I'm going against the trend. 320, 325. Wow, I could get $1. That's not bad. 240. What can I get at 240? Nothing. 245. Nothing. So I'd have to do the bear call spread first, which I can't do because it's purely counter trend. Okay, so we're waiting on Adobe. I don't see anything right now. I mean, you got to love the candles. So obviously, like the rest of the market, really, we could gap up and go strongly in either direction. I just don't know what direction yet. CrowdStrike, CRWD. My buddy Brad has a put sale at 51.50. I'm going to go over his house to hang out with him Saturday, and he's either going to make money on that or not. I can see this one is beginning to pull back some, and you have a nice double bottom on CrowdStrike. This one could become a pretty nice earnings play since you are getting so much selling. if the premium is right, I think it could be, I'd almost be willing to just do a straddle on CrowdStrike for December. 45.65. I mean, you had a really nice gap last earnings. You had a really nice gap the earnings before. 45 is going to be almost free. $1.90 and 65. Wow. I think that's probably the one you'd want to do. If you're looking at playing a straddle over earnings, another one. We talked about one earlier. So 45 December put. Try for $1.70. Would sell to close if crowd gapped down unless it opened below 45. 53 to 45 is what? 16% gap. And then this call is 18% gap. I mean, it's large. That's only $1.20 for December. Calls. Would hold if crowd gapped up nicely on earnings. That's pretty much it. So I'll publish that one on Friday once I know what happens with Brad's position. So get that already on the list, and one that you could keep an eye on or play if you want or not. It doesn't specifically matter. But yeah, cool, yo. All right, so we've already looked at Kroger, and next on the list is Uber. So Uber had some nice moves the last 2 days. Congratulations to Alex and Joe Sidoti for making some good money on Uber on a day trade. JL Musi was in on Uber for some swing positions, and so he's up nicely on those. Just a good gap, nice double bottom. If you're looking at playing it on a pullback, I think you will have an opportunity to eventually do that. In fact, I'm very confident you will. I don't know when it will happen, but more or less just set an alert for a pullback of Uber at 27.43. Otherwise, yes, this gap can fill. This one that happened from here to here, that gap could fill for sure, up to about 30. We will see, but the weekly chart looks good. And again, long term, I know I'm one of the only Uber bears on the planet. Sorry, Uber bulls on the planet. So I'm probably dead wrong, I guess. Really strong little trend right there. So that's something to keep in mind. And if we can finally break out of that, Uber can start running a little bit. LYFT, on the other hand, looks very nice. I love this close on LYFT. Love it, love it, love it. So we'll see if we can pull back some on LYFT. I will watch it again tomorrow. Honestly, if that thing gapped up tomorrow, it could easily run to 48, no problem. So you could have a pretty nice day trade opportunity on LYFT. This is a very, very, very good close. Very strong close, I think. So 48 is within sights on LYFT. And if I'm coming over here, I will straight up look like a genius if this starts playing out. Pretty close. So I press play. This is not bad. I mean, that is almost uncanny. Whew. Come on, LYFT. Let's go. All right. That's my thoughts. I'm a little bullish on LYFT. No position right now. We'll keep an eye on it. And the last two, ARAV, ARAV. This is a wild child. Yeah, this thing's going to pretty much go back down to $6. And that's it. That's your analysis. Gapped up. Everyone who had shares is going to sell it, and it's just going to come right back down to $6. So if you can short it, make money on the downside, go for it. MYOV. Probably the exact same thing. No, this has a little bit more history and a little bit better of a trend. We did retest this neckline of this double top. That's interesting. So on this one, you just have the cutest of candles. I would kind of bracket trade this one. And if it popped bullish, you actually could get a nice move. But if it broke down, then yes, I'd be a little bit on the bearish side. On Myovant Sciences, I don't know anything about those two companies as far as fundamental information. So if you wanted to share that with me and I could read over some notes or whatever, feel free to. I always like learning new things. But as far as technical charts are concerned, this is a nice gap. You do have a good high wave candle. We are resting, which is good. That's a positive that we haven't started selling off immediately. So if we start breaking out higher, you could certainly make some money on a few shares, I think, on MYOV. It's just not one that I'm personally going to partake in. All right, Squadron, that was it. Tomorrow is Finance Friday, and we already have a nice list for tomorrow. So here's what we have. We have CrowdStrike, GoDaddy, COTY, Las Vegas Sands with a C in it, CFR, E-Trade doing some crazy things today, TD Ameritrade about to get bought out by Schwab, which is insanity, BLDP, Baidu, SCOR, Smile Direct Club, Square. Anything else you guys want to look at, folks? You can put anything in here that you want. Totally your call. KRUS, Amazon, Netflix, Tesla, Roku, AMD. Jill says, why insanity? That would just be the biggest broker of all time. Talk about a monopoly. Man, oh man. Bob says, enjoying the holiday next week. No trading for me. I'll be in Florida visiting family. Yes, sir. And we will be here Monday and Tuesday of next week, but Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, RLT will be closed. I'll be here all day Monday. Blake will be here all day Tuesday. And then again, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, no trading rooms at all. But I will be here tomorrow. So between now and tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for trading with me. You are amazing. And until next time, love life, and trade it. Love you guys.